and she avoids that massive A-frame. Oh, there we go, and she is. She approached it. She's going up. Oh! This is not a test I've been particularly looking forward to doing, but John Burns asked the question, so I've come out to do it. And it is this: what happens if you have to hit return to home, or return to home automatically happens either because of a loss of a signal or a disconnection, and there is actually an obstacle between you and the drone? With the DJI Mini 3 Pro, if you have obstacle avoidance switched on, when it automatically starts to return to home, will it avoid the obstacle? So I'm going to try that. I'm going to fly Caledonia to the other side of the bar in the A-frame, so that the A-frame is in between Caledonia and myself, and then I'm going to initiate the return to home, and hopefully Caledonia's obstacle avoidance will kick in and she will either go up over it or go round it and not straight into it. So I suppose the first thing we have to do before we test that is to see what happens if the return to home height is set to 20 metres and the drone is flying at height above that, let's say at 35 metres. When return to home is initiated, will the drone drop down to 20 metres and then return to home, or will it stay at the height, which is at 35 metres, 50 metres above the return to home height, and come home and then descend? Let's find out. So up she goes. Let's send her out and send her up to 35 metres. Okay, so there she's at 35 metres, and if we now have a look at the return to home height is set at 20 metres. So when I initiate return to home, will she drop down to 20 metres and then come home, or will she stay at 35 metres and come home and then descend? Here we go.
Return to home.
So there we can see she is staying at the height of 35 metres, which is 20 metres above, 15 metres above what the maximum return to home height is set. Okay.
Landing.
Okay, so here comes the scary part. I'm now going to put Caledonia on the other side of the bar in the A-frame there, and we'll see what happens. So there she's up at 35 metres, and I'm going to send her to the other side of the A-frame. Now, because she will be out of my line of sight if I put her directly behind there, and she is now, I can't see her because the A-frame is in between. What I'll do is I will move, the home point will remain the same, the home point will remain there, but I'll move so that I can see her, and I can see her from here now. So there we are, the bar in the A-frame is absolutely between me and Caledonia right now, and although I can't see her from here, I want to keep visual line of sight, so I'll just move a few feet to the side, and now I can see her. And if I now initiate the return to home, let's hope that Caledonia's obstacle avoidance kicks in and she avoids that massive A-frame. Oh, there we go, and she is. She approached it. She's going up. Oh! Grief. She did. Oh, that was a bit scary there. Right. So she did avoid it by going up and going over it. And she flew up to, I think it was about 50 metres there she flew up, which is above 50 metres, about 55 metres maybe, because I believe the height of the barn A-frame's about 50 metres, I'm not sure. But so she definitely flew above that using her obstacle avoidance. That was quite scary, I must admit it. Woo! Scary stuff indeed. So there we go, John. I hope that answers the question for you. Now, I obviously didn't disconnect the remote controller because I wanted to make sure that if it looked like she was going to crash into the obstacle, I could take avoiding action. I couldn't anyway because she moved that fast. I had no time to take any avoiding action, but luckily the obstacle avoidance took that action for me. Save Caledonia. She didn't attempt to go around it, she just went up above it, and that's probably what they're first programmed to do, is to go up at least for a certain number of metres to get over the obstacle. I would imagine that if it's a tall, very, very tall building and it starts to go up, after a certain point, if it still hasn't reached a clear view, it may then attempt to turn and go around. I don't know what would happen there, but suffice to say, the obstacle avoidance works on a return to home. I kind of thought it did, but you never know until you test it. So now I've tested it, I'm going to go and have a wee rest before I have a heart attack here. Give us a thumbs up if this was interesting to you. See you in the next one.